Hello, 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 you guys. Mo the Goddess here. So, guess what? I was talking all that smack online about you not showing up, and I almost did not show up here. Y'all, I didn't realize that there was a time change, and I got all mixed up. So, I was an hour late, and nobody's here on the inner circle. Remember, I told you that I was recording with the lady who had purchased the inner circle, and she's not even here because she was here an hour ago and I wasn't. Nonetheless, I told you I am willing to admit when I am wrong. I'm willing to, I'm a woman of integrity. So my bad. Talking all that mess and ended up being the one who didn't show up. Anyway, welcome to day number 1 of Courage in Cash Flow, you guys. I'm really excited about this. I told you guys, when I'm passionate about something, I'm very passionate about it. And let me tell you how it all started. Today, we're just going to work on mindset and what's behind the mindset and what's behind a lot of the reasons why I feel like some people do not show up for themselves. We become so ashamed and so embarrassed of our stories when our stories is a part of our brand. Our stories is a part of our cash flow. Simply because there are so many people out there who have the same story as we do, yet we're afraid to own our story. And when you're afraid to own your story, you're usually worried about what people are going to say, what people are thinking. You're worried of sticking out like a sore thumb. You're just worried that you're not going to be accepted in the eyes of the public. That's usually why people do not show up for themselves. That's usually why they are not courageous enough to create a brand or expand their brand or cultivate the thing that is already in them that is meant for your purpose to get you to the money. So I have my notes over here to the side. So if I'm looking over to the side, it's because I'm referring back to my notes. But I'm going to tell you straight up, this is not necessarily about the notes, right? And the reason why it's not about the notes is because it's about me. Our brand is about us. People are not with the buying from corporations anymore. They can't connect to a corporation. And I'm speaking of buying because I think it's important. If you're going to be on social media, if you have a story to tell, if you have a passion to help people, then you have to begin to look at yourself as if you're a brand, not that you are Sally, not that you are Jane, not that I am Mona anymore. I am Mo the Goddess. I am Mo the Goddess, Mo the Goddess, and not that you have to even create an alter ego. For me, I needed to create an alter ego. I felt so low about who I was as an individual because I didn't think anybody else had my story. I didn't think anybody else had my struggles. I fought so hard to be liked, to be loved, that I thought, there was something wrong with me. If I'm not lovable, if I am not, experiencing parents who are really supporting and guiding me, then there must be something wrong with me. And that's where it all stemmed from. It stemmed from my childhood. And that's just one part of my story. If you're interested in reading my story, I have written about it in my book, Permission to Power. And Permission to Power is quite like this. It's connected to this. It's giving yourself permission to come out of the box, to step out, okay? Giving yourself permission to be who you were created to be, because that is what building a brand is. So I'm going to read now. This is the introduction to Courage and Cash Flow. So it says, let's be real. Building your personal brand isn't just about looking good online. It's about showing up like the boss you are, owning your worth, commanding the attention and the cash the cash that you deserve. Too many of us play small. We shrink in spaces that we should be shining in. We shrink in our stories. We shrink in areas like, for me, like I've shared with you, going through a lot of things in my childhood, making me feel like I'm not good enough. So most of my life, that's what I did. I wasn't good enough, so I did things, I performed to be better. And then people looked at me like, oh, she weighed too much. Her body is too much. She too much. So then I played small, So I was not being myself at all. Trying to be more to be liked. And then when I wasn't getting that response, I tried to be less. So that was the problem. We don't own our stories. We shrink to fit in spaces where we should be shining. And we second guess the power that we hold. I had no idea. I'm going to shine regardless. I had no idea that all those things that I actually went through was developing who I was, who Mona White actually was. And that's what I want you to own. I want you to own your story, because your story is who you are. And when you are comfortable where you don't have to hide your story, not that you have to get online and tell all your business, but if you use it like the victor that you are, and all of us don't have a sad story, I don't think. Any story that represents who you are, you should be okay with sharing it, because that's who you are. That's your authenticity, and authenticity is currency. That is where your money is going to come from. That's where the cash flow is going to come from. You being authentic. That we see it all the time. There's so many different fake people out there. There's so much fakeness in the world, and we don't really see people being authentic. But when we do, when we see people showing up, when we see people doing their thing freely, openly, that's attractive to us. That's attractive to see somebody living their best life, just being who they are, having a good old time. We love that, but when it comes time for us to be that, we shrink. And we're going to learn something different in this 5-day class. No more shrinking, you guys. No more shrinking. So Courage and Cash Flow is a roadmap to you stepping into your power unapologetically. Just who you are, not explaining, not asking for permission, but stepping into your power, amplifying your voice. And you have to practice using your voice. That was a part of the introduction assignment. Come on, make a video, introduce yourself, use your voice. Let people see who you are. Don't ask for permission. Don't tiptoe. Show up. And if you're not showing up for anybody else, you are actually showing up for yourself. Be okay with that, you guys. Use your voice. Becoming the hot commodity you know you are. These are the you're not the run-of-the-mill brand. You are a one-of-a-kind. You are a one-of-a-kind brand. Start looking at yourself as a brand if you want to bring in money. Start making sure you are paying attention to what you are posting online, if you're posting. Because some of y'all not even posting online because you're shrinking. Some of y'all not even showing up online because you don't show up in your life. You show up at your job, and we all do the job dance, the job voice, we do the corporate world skit, because that's what it is. It's a skit. We do that to get by, but then when it comes to us doing us, we so busy and so used to playing skits that we don't even know how to be ourselves. We so used to trying to fit in at the office or around people in church or in family, whatever. We so busy playing a part that we forget to be who we were created to be. And that's what this class is about. It's not so much about the money, because the money is going to come if you are you, if you're willing to show up for yourself, or if you are willing to talk about what you do, what you have, who you help, why you choose to help them, and being confident in that. The money's going to come. But if you're hiding, nobody knows what you do or why you do it, or why they should give you money. So that's one thing. You're not run of the mill. So, and these are not run of the mill brand tips that I'm giving you. This is about getting laser focused on making your presence unforgettable and unstoppable. You got dreams to chase, checks to cash, and a legacy to build. This is your guide to building a brand, but owning it, like owning who you are as a brand. So if you're ready to boss up, ladies, if you are ready to boss up and get noticed and turn your brand into a money-making machine, you are definitely in the right place. You're definitely in the right place at the right time. That's why you came here. That's why you were attracted to this, because you know that it is time for you to do something different, for you to be all that you can be, especially in this new world. So let me talk a little more about Mo the Goddess. Feeling low self-esteem most of my life. Feeling low self-esteem. I have stories upon stories, you guys. If you are interested in knowing the story, I'm going to encourage you to purchase my book, Permission to Power. But I have stories on stories of how I always felt not good enough. And I just came to a place in my life where I was like, you know what? I know that I've always had this connection with the higher power. I've always felt that. I've always felt like there is connection. I've always felt like God is with me. God is watching me. God is walking with me. So why am I playing small? A lot of us say that we believe in God and then we don't believe in ourselves, right? It took me a long time to realize, like, girl, how can you believe in a higher power? How can you believe in the perfection of what you call God, but then when it comes to you and you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't believe that God really knew what he was doing when he created you? Come on now. We got to come out of that. We have to learn to cultivate the courage to become who we were created to be. That is your brand. That is where the cash flow is going to come in. As soon as you realize, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Just being me. You don't have to audition for that. You don't have to act for that. All you have to do is just be who you were created to be. And we are afraid to do that. So before you can build a personal brand that can attract opportunities, generate income, you must first develop the courage to see yourself as a brand. You got to take your personal feelings out of it, because especially in this world, let's talk about social media, because that's really how you're going to promote yourself. Really, we're in the digital age. You have to know that people are not going to like you. There are going to be some people who do not like you. They don't like what you have. They don't like what you're selling. They don't like your voice. They don't like how you dress. They don't like how your body shape. They don't like nothing about you. But you have to be okay with that, because Nike and Adidas is not up in the comments windmilling with nobody because they don't like Nike. They're not stopping the promotion because people don't like Nike. That is how we need to look at ourselves. They're not stopping. They're not taking it personally. If you keep hearing the same thing from the same people about the same thing, then take it into account, go to the drawing board and go, okay, how can I make this better? But you don't stop. You don't get in your feelings and get down in the comments and be fighting with nobody. And I'm just using that as an example. That is like so minor because we ain't thinking about that. When people are saying crazy stuff to me on social media, I think to myself, and I know this is crazy. I know this is crazy because I do not idolize this woman, but I just use her practice of not responding to anything. And I just developed that. Beyonce, you can say whatever you want to say about Beyonce. Beyonce ain't responded. And I had this conversation with my son. I was like, I said, I am going to develop Beyonce's practice of not, because for a while, y'all, especially me doing what I do, a lot of it is physical, a lot of me putting myself out there, a lot of me talking, a lot of me posting my pictures, a lot of me being kind of scantily clad sometimes. People have things to say because it's triggering a part of them that they don't like about themselves. And I used to feel the need to respond, or when I grew out of the responding thing and just started blocking people, then I started to get in my feelings. And I was sharing that with my youngest son. And I was telling him, I said, I'm just going to be like Beyonce from now on. She don't respond to nobody about nothing. And he said, no, Mom. He says she does respond. And I was like, what you mean? He was like, she responds with her work, with her artistry. She shows up in her art. That is her response. And then I started to think about it. I was like, you're absolutely right. That is her response. Her success is her response. And I want us to be our own success story. Let that be our response. Besides, the people who don't agree and who don't like what we have, they're not our people. That's not who we are selling to. So why spend time on them and waste time fighting with somebody or being in our feelings about something someone said when we could be servicing the people who really need what we have, who want what we have, right? So we have to get into the mindset that you are your brand. Many women struggle with this foundation, and it is a really big, it's a big part of what this is all about, because they've been conditioned to downplay their gifts, to stay in the background, especially when it comes to women. Shh, be quiet. Don't be too forward. Don't rock the boat. Don't hurt anybody's feelings. You want to be liked. You want to be girly. You want to cover up. You want to be demure. You want to be cutesy. All the things. That's what we're taught. Or feeling unworthy of positioning themselves as experts. You are expert. There's nobody better than you to talk about what it is that you know, because you're going to talk about who you are. Can't nobody do me. I am the expert. I am the expert of living the type of life that I live. I can talk about it. I can talk about it confidently because it's my life. And if I'm not tiptoeing or hiding it, then I'm the expert. This is lived experiences that I share. I'm the expert. You are the expert if you allow yourself to be your authentic self. You're the expert. Nobody else is better than you in that field, okay? So this isn't just about strategy. It's about believing you are worthy of being seen, heard, and paid for your expertise. So if you know, like for me, I've invested too much time in skincare products, getting my body to look a certain way, my skin to look a certain way. I've invested too much money in my education, getting myself to a position where I can be confident. I have invested too much money in learning how to use different apps, in learning how to work the back offices of YouTube and this and that. I have gone to too many conferences. I have done too many seminars. I have sat in too many women's circles where I've invested to learn. I've invested to become. Surely, if I am paying someone else for their expertise, I can be paid for mine because I invested in myself. So we have to be comfortable with asking for the money. Fear that holds you back. If you've ever thought this, if you've ever thought, who am I to call myself an expert? I have been there. When I first started this, I was like, nobody's going to believe me. I'm just a regular person. I'm just posting regular stuff. I'm just posting my food. I'm just posting, where I went today. I'm just posting other people's stuff. Stop posting other people's stuff. Stop reposting other people's quotes. What do you have to say? What does your voice say? What does your mind say? What do you believe in? What do you represent? What are one of your favorite quotes that you say? Stop being so comfortable reposting and celebrating other people before you celebrate yourself. That's where we fall. That's where we lack. If you've ever said, what if people judge me? Now, we just went over that. We don't care nothing about that. Because if people are judging you because you being you, guess what? They're going to judge you because you ain't being you too. People gonna judge you all day long, every day, about everything. So we have to become comfortable in the skin we're in. If you've ever said, I don't have enough experience to start, your life is experience. We just went over these things. Your life is the experience. You do have experience. If you are showing up as the brand, the personal brand. You have the experience. You lived it. You have the experience. You've come through it. You've overcome it. If that ain't experience, I don't know what is. If you've ever said, I need everything to be perfect before I can put myself out there. You need a camera. You need a microphone. You need to know how to edit. You need to lose weight first. You need to graduate. You need to retire. You need something in order for you to get started. You just wasting time and you're leaving money on the table. You're not alone though, because many of these fears are normal. I've experienced them. Trust me, I've experienced them. They're also the very things that's keeping you stuck because you're waiting, you're procrastinating, you're making excuses. The truth is, confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you build through your actions. Y'all wouldn't believe, I don't do this. I don't do these Zoom calls. Y'all, I just, look. Most coaches are supposed to be these perfect people who speak a certain way, who dress a certain way, and they sit a certain way and all the things. And of course they show up on time. I'm human. I made a mistake. I am my personal brand. I made a mistake. I had a time discrepancy and it messed me up. And it makes me look, in my mind, in my human mind, I'm saying, oh, it makes me look so unprofessional. No, what would be unprofessional is if I didn't show up and I didn't come to talk to you about it. That would be unprofessional. That would make me look like I am above human or above you. No, I'm letting you know that I am human. I make mistakes. That's part of my brand. I'm a little loopy. I'm a little dingy sometimes. That's part of my brand. When I'm speaking, I say certain words where I meant to say something else, and it makes me look a little bit uneducated. That's part of my brand. And I'm willing to share that with you. And I'm not afraid anymore. I used to be. I used to actually record YouTube videos and then go back and go, oh, I can't believe I said that. Oh, what if they think this? What if that? And I would either delete them or re-record them with taking out parts that made me look imperfect. I don't do that anymore. No, this is my imperfection, and my imperfection is who I am. Okay? So, fear. Let's talk about it. Fuck fear, you guys. Fuck fear. Fuck fear. So your exercise number 1. Think about this, because I'm going to give you an assignment after this class, okay? Exercise number 1 is rewriting the narrative that you've been telling yourself. The lies that you've been telling yourself. One of the biggest blocks to courage is the story you tell yourself. It's not your true identity. It's not your story, but it's a story that you've created in your mind, that you have been telling yourself over the years, that is keeping you stuck. And it keeps repeating itself. And you keep repeating, I'm not ready. I don't know enough. Your mind will begin to believe that. So we're going to shift our story, okay? We're going to tell another story. Step into the identity or identity limiting beliefs you've been telling yourself about yourself. You can't build a personal brand yet. Yes, you can. You are a personal brand. Believe it or not, did you know that you're a personal brand even if you're doing it intentionally or not? If you're a procrastinator, if you're a liar, if you are a negative person, always fighting, believe me, you are a brand. That's your brand. That's your brand. Whoever you are is your brand. When people think about you, when your name comes up, whatever it is that comes to mind, they've already created a brand. You've already created a brand. My brand is I am bold, I am beautiful, and I am unapologetic about what I believe in and how I live, and ain't nobody gonna keep me from being who I am anymore. My brand is I'm rebellious. My brand is I'm a leader, and I'm gonna speak up for myself, and I'm gonna show up for myself. That is my brand. When people hear my name, that's what inspires them. Oh, I wish I had her confidence. I wish I could be as bold as she is. That's my brand. I built that through practice. Because for so long, I told myself so many different lies that kept me from being myself. Because like I said, I played bigger, trying to act, look at me, look what I can do. I'm a good friend. I'm a good daughter. Let me buy you this. Let me take you here. What can I do for you? That got to be annoying for me and exhausting, I might add. Trying to be everything for everybody, never saying no. Never saying no, because if I say no, then they're going to think I'm not a good person, and I have to prove that I'm a good person. So let me say yes to everybody and let me go above and beyond. Even though it wasn't being reciprocated to me, I was doing all these things for everybody else for them to like me. That's exhausting, and people still wasn't liking me. So then I was like, well, I'm doing too much. Let me play small. Oh, she getting her feelings hurt. I go out with females, and they like suddenly become catty and competitive. And it's like, I just want to be your friend. I'm not competing with you. Why don't these girls like me? I remember one time, y'all, I went out with this group of girls. It was girls from my workout class that I was going to. It was the instructor. Of course, I wanted the instructor to like me. I wanted to be, because she had her favorites in the class. And one time, the class all went to have drinks. Well, not all of them, but a few, like her favorites, right? And of course, I want to be her favorite. And we go out to have drinks after on a weekend after we worked out. And these girls huddled up at the end of the bar and was talking so bad about me because, and I'm not bragging, the guys were attracted to me. They were coming over, talking to me, introducing themselves, and the girls got real in their feelings about that. And they gathered up at the end of the bar and was like whispering and keeping me out of the conversation. And these are types of things that I experienced a lot of my life until I got to a point where I was saying, you know what? I can't shrink enough for people not to see me and for people not to treat me like I'm less than, or I can't rise up enough for people to feel comfortable, or, I can't do all these adjustments for everybody else. I just have to be me. And if that doesn't work for you, then okay, that's fine. So we have to get to a point where we're unapologetic about who we are, regardless to who likes us or who does not like us, okay? So those stories that we tell ourselves, we have to be able to change the narrative of those stories. You are worthy, you are amazing, and it don't matter who like it or who don't like it. If you can be comfortable being yourself, that's what it's about. Rewrite your empowering truth. For example, I created I Am Goddess, Mo the Goddess. Mo the Goddess fearless. She's beautiful. She's courageous. She's able to stick up for herself. She's able to speak. She's able to go places by herself. If I hadn't created Mo the Goddess, I would not be traveling all around the world and living here in Bali, Indonesia alone. I created this alter ego because I didn't feel strong enough. Whatever you have to do to step into your powerful, courageous version of yourself is what we're going to do, okay? So here's the example. Instead of, I don't have enough experience, try my unique life experiences make me the perfect person to help others. There are people out there who struggle with self-esteem. There are people out there who have struggled with body image issues. Why wouldn't I be the perfect person to help them? There are people out there who wish they could pack their bags and move to another country. Why wouldn't I, someone who has lived in 3 countries alone, be able to be the expert to help that person? Your experiences make you the expert. Don't forget it. Step number 3, say your new truth out loud every morning for the first week. So while we're in this 5-day challenge, I want you to think of a new truth to tell yourself. I want you to counteract the ones that you've been telling yourself that are keeping you in this stuck place and keeping you playing small. Whatever negative thing that you have said to yourself or that you think about yourself, create a positive one. One that is going to put you in the light that you want to be. That's what we're going to do. So, the power of visibility. If you're not willing to be seen, your brand won't grow. Visibility isn't about being famous. It ain't. Your brand, calling yourself a brand, is not about being famous either. It's about allowing your audience to connect with the real you. We talked about the real you. When people feel your authenticity, they trust you. And when they trust you, they feel like they know you. And when they know you, they feel like they can like you. And when they like you, they spend money with you. Know, trust, and like, okay? Keep that in mind. And trust is what leads you to opportunities and income. So I am going to end today's class. Again, please, you guys, forgive me. Forgive me, please. I'm asking for your forgiveness. I messed up. I messed up and talked all that yin yang 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 down the way, and was the one who didn't even show up myself on time. Okay, I have your assignment that I want you to do. Let me find it. Let me find your assignment. We already got this written out. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here's your assignment. Day 1 assignment. And to be perfectly honest and open and transparent with you, at the end on day 5, I have a special offer for you. Okay? So I ain't gonna just be trying to slap something upside your head at the last minute. I'm going to offer you a special offer, because I believe if you follow these assignments, I believe if you begin to create a new narrative for yourself and tell a new story, I believe if you tap into each one of these sessions and really take notes and really sit with yourself, you are going to get something out of this. And if you get something out of this, there is a next step, a next level that you can do with the collective of like-minded individuals, which is where we need to be now. We need to be in community. We need to be building together. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. So this is day 1. This is your assignment. Claim your power story. Do your mindset shifts. That new story that you're creating for yourself that you're going to repeat every morning, okay? So this is mindset and visibility shifts. Your lesson. Focus on owning your story. What is your story? Embrace visibility. Focus, embrace visibility, okay? We only got 5 days together, so we about to go hard. And seeing yourself as a personal brand. So the assignment is, number 1, write down why, your why statement. Why do you want to build a personal brand in the first place, sweetheart? Why are you here? Why you come up in here? Why you want to build a personal brand in the first place? What is your bigger purpose? I told you my bigger purpose. My bigger purpose is to help people to understand that they can overcome all that crap, all that childhood crap, all those childhood lies. I am the example. I want to help you. I want to help you evolve. I want to help you become. I want to help you feel more powerful. I want to help you get money. Because being in a place where you broke and you ain't got no money and you don't have no confidence, honey, you at the bottom of the totem pole, I hate to say. People gonna walk all over you until you get it together. That is my purpose. Number 2, record a 30 to 60 second video sharing a small piece of your story. This is where you do it, in the group. That's why I said it was so important to introduce yourself. That way it would have been easier for you to do this assignment. Water under the bridge. Anyway, 30 to 60 second video. Record a piece of your story. It can be about your journey, your transformation, or why you feel called to do this work. Post it publicly on this platform. Post it on your social media. Let's get it started. Post it on your Instagram. Post it on your TikTok. Definitely post it in the group though, okay? That's practice. Post it. And then you're going to hashtag it with courage and cash flow. Hashtag my brand story. It's time for you to step into putting yourself out there and building your audience. So when I load this, I am also going to load your first assignment. Number one, what is your why statement? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to do this work? Why are you here? Why is this important to you? Number two, record a 30 to 60-second video telling your story. Whatever your story is, your journey, your transformation, or why you're called to do this work. Hashtag it, courage and cash flow. Hashtag my brand story. Okay? So again, I thank you. We've completed day number 1 of Courage and Cash Flow. I'll see you tomorrow, and best believe I will be on time. The class is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Forgive me. Coach made a mistake. Coach made a mistake. Okay? I'm going to get it right, though. I'm going to get it right. It's okay to make mistakes and then correct them. Get them right. Admit that you made a mistake. Sometimes we don't even want to admit we made a mistake. I made a mistake. I can do better. I will do better. But I am looking forward to hearing your brand story. And in the meantime and in between time, until the next time, you be fit, be fierce, be fabulous. Healthy is the new sexy.